Welcome to the Persecution Report. I'm Greg Musselman. Coming up, the violence against Christians continues in Orissa, India.
We're continuing to see violence against Christians, churches being attacked, in particular Christians being pressured to convert to Hinduism.
This is not just another church building. We'll tell you why this place of worship in northern Pakistan is so significant.
There were so many Christians living here centuries ago, and the blood of the Christian martyrs is in this land. God does not forget the blood of the martyrs.
Also, evangelical Christians in Laos are seen as enemies of the state and often face persecution.
The reason I believe he was killed because he served God. The church is going well. We have been training more Christian disciples and leaders.
And later, Christians in Chile gather to pray for the persecuted church. Even though a Maoist group claimed responsibility for the death of Hindu leader Swami Saraswati and 4 of his followers, Hindu militant groups continue to attack Christians in Orissa, India, accusing them of the murder. Dozens of Christians have been killed, hundreds of homes and churches were destroyed, and thousands of Christians forced to hide in jungles. Thousands of other Christians fled to state government relief centers. There are reports of Hindus raiding these centers in Christian villages, threatening the Christians with violence if they do not convert to Hinduism immediately.
The Hindu mob threatened us, saying that India belongs to Hindus. Christians do not belong here. They warned us that if we rebuilt the churches, they would kill us. They would break our body into pieces, just like they broke our church into pieces.
They're very frustrated and angry at evangelists and Indian missionaries who are winning people to Christ from Hinduism. And so there has been attacks on Christians throughout. I think all it takes is one particular incident that might be a little more high profile, such as the death of this Hindu leader, or last year it was a riot when this Hindu leader tried to stop a Christmas celebration. And this just ignites long held resentments and anger that some of these militants do hold towards Christians in general.
A young Saudi woman was recently killed by her father after he discovered that she had converted to Christianity. According to Gulf News, the father, who is a religious police member, cut out his daughter's tongue and burned her to death following a heated debate about religion. In an online blog entry written a few days before her death, the woman mentioned how her family had begun to suspect her religious beliefs. The father may be charged with committing an honor killing, a significantly less serious crime than murder. And Saudi religious leaders, instead of condemning the crime, are using the story as a cautionary tale, blaming the internet for drawing young Muslims away from Islam. Only Sunni Islam is tolerated in Saudi Arabia. 3 Christians in a community in Chiapas, Mexico, were brutally killed by a neighbor. That's according to a report from Compass Direct. Antonio Gomez blamed his Christian neighbor Pedro Gomez Diaz and his family for his 11-year-old daughter's stomach ailment and accused the Christians of practicing witchcraft. Gomez and 7 of his friends entered the Diaz home and attacked them with machetes. Pedro, his wife Marcela, and their oldest son were hacked to death. 6 of the other Diaz children were seriously wounded. 8 men involved in the attack were taken to jail. Evangelical Christians in Chiapas often face problems when refusing to pay a share of the cost of local festivals that are a blend of traditional native religions and Catholicism. Christians in Laos face a choice of worshiping in churches. The stakes are high. They risk being seen as enemies of the state, of coming under surveillance, being arrested, imprisoned without trial, and tortured to renounce their faith. The Lao authorities see evangelical Christianity as a plot to undermine the communist revolution. Abigail, not her real name, is continuing her husband's work, looking after the churches he set up. He was away on church business when news came that his body had been found.
The reason I believe he was killed because he served God. The church is going well. We have been training more Christian disciples and leaders.
Abigail has taken on her husband's work of caring for the Christians he brought to the Lord.
I don't know who killed him, but I only know that God has planned for the church, especially for the people to grow up and become strong in the faith.
Days after his death, she called for Christians in Laos to continue to fearlessly preach the gospel. But what if Abigail were to come face to face with her husband's killer? What would she tell him?
I would tell him about the God's love, even like I did something wrong, and then he always forgave me. So I would tell him I love him because God loved him too, and God will forgive him.
Still to come on the Persecution Report. After hundreds of years, a church has emerged in northern Pakistan.
When the church was founded, I had to communicate the vision to them. Now I'm sure that the church also has the same vision like I do, and the Lord is using us all.
Also, praying for the persecuted church in South America. If you live in Canada and don't yet receive our free monthly newsletter about today's persecuted church, sign up today at the top right of the screen or go to persecution.net. There's simply no better way to learn about the faith and courage of our brothers and sisters around the world and how you can stand together with them. And you can also share the newsletter with friends and family. Sign up today.